a whole life sentence, 10 years or something like that, they'll be out. Who are them girls?
It gives a lot of excuses. It gives a lot of excuses for one crap basically.
What are we talking about?
Yellow vests.
Oh.
Content over everything!
What is the deal with the yellow vests? Because I've seen a lot of more extremist people.
The basic breakdown I got this week is they're no longer allowed to legally organise, so they have to like disperse. Like, they can't say, oh, let's meet here and march here. So they just go outside wearing yellow vests and they just sort of rally randomly.
What do they stand for?
Apparently, they had one of their leaders had a word with Salvini of Italy, and they want to basically overthrow the government. I don't know what they're going to replace it with.
The Italians are trying to recreate the Roman Empire.
Oh yeah, remember that happened last time they tried that?
Yeah, well, last time they invaded France, they did pretty well.
Remember that episode from LOLO, and they had the Italians and the soldiers were just like lazy smoking and saying guns, and they're like, all right, screw the bayonets. Yeah, screw the bayonets. No.
Yeah, the last time the Italians properly invaded France, they did a really good job of it.
Which time
was your man Caesar.
Oh, well, no, it was already like a client state. There was always like, yo,
It was an understanding, and that's why it was an illegal war, but they still managed it.
Because it's like, oh yeah, no, don't mess with them, they're cool with us. But as soon as it's like, no, I'm going to support this Germanic tribe coming in from the north. and then he like killed and like enslaved, like, I think 1 million of them.
Yeah. But then he still managed to have alliances with the chiefs afterwards.
Oh yeah, somehow. Have you ever seen that thing about the Roman Empire in 15 minutes? And it's basically like, and what Caesar did back then would basically be classed as a genocide by our standards.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of cases where like Rome just messed people up so badly, and like, but by our standards, that would have been seen as like.
How else can you subdue those ghouls? They were like not gonna like give up.
It's basic chimp warfare, though, isn't it? It's mammalian. You kill the offspring, you mate with the females, and you just replace them. Hence genocide. No, Lebensraum was different. Lebensraum was like
that was actually like the Native Americans.
It was like Lebensraum was engineering a race. That was the German thing. Nazis. Like how to genetically engineer a bunch of blue-eyed, blonde-haired motherfuckers. I'm probably
a lot of people have asked the question about the whole kind of like the fact that Hitler wasn't blue-eyed and didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes, but
he had blue eyes.
He still subscribed to some sort of racialist theory.
Yeah, I think
racialist breakdown of things.
I think he was a bit blonde when he was young, as a baby.
Like, I mean, I can be blue-haired and blonde-eyed and not be Lebensraum in the same way Hitler can be.
You're Scandinavian. So
yeah, I'm Scandinavian as well.
I was blonde when I was a toddler.
I need to do a DNA test. I just really don't hope I'm not English.
I was teasing, like, I bet you're going to get some Welsh in there. It's like, no.
They didn't even break down how much Welsh I am, they just said Irish, Welsh, Scottish.
One of my Irish ancestors got raped by an English woman. Embarrassment.
You'll probably come out English.
Here's the thing with Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Look, I get where you're coming from. I get, like, but look, all right, first of all, it was 40 years ago. Listen to what I'm not going to hold him for account like today, but it's still a bit disturbing. And I get he was probably like 18 at the time. This dude went about in the darkness with a metal rod or something, hoping up this guy would start a fight with him, just so he'd have an excuse to kill him.
Well, but
that's called premeditated murder.
But isn't that still more honourable than actually going out and starting a fight? Because he didn't technically start anything.
It was his way. Because if he would have done that and we killed him, he probably could have gotten away with it, and that's why it's disturbing.
Right.
And like, the thing is, if he knew the guy who raped his friend and he killed him, like I would be like, well, I probably shouldn't have killed him, but I understood where he came from. I would have like unintentionally, like unofficially supported him. Because obviously rape is wrong, but this dude, like, and it was a tribal era.
I think it is easy for us to feel like we don't experience what it's like to have a loved one raped, I think, and understand, or would we be any better? You know?
No, yeah, sorry, I just clocked. Yeah, no, it is very tribal. It's very tribal.
But it's very scary. It's
Someone
very,
rapes your
That's the scary
tribe,
fact.
you
It's
go
human
get them
nature,
back.
not that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's got a bit too much testosterone, or maybe he was grown up in, I don't know if it's genetic or environmental. Point is, it's not that unusual for people to have that tendency. Like, imagine, and I know I keep going like, oh, what if it's a black man in here? But I really do feel like there'd be less of a, oh, that's racist, saying like, well, I do understand that.
I think I'd have the same kind of opinion, especially like, because if it's like, because that's a very savage mindset to kind of go, okay,
and you see that in the South African.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the South Africans are fucking idiots, honestly. I was talking to some Nigerian guy about them, and I said, what do you think about South African land farms? I said, look, if they can't handle the farms, then that's their fault, and they're idiots. And
Who's they in that example?
I think some of the idiots who want the farm. Like, I'm
I'm
not trying to be
they're keeping everyone fed. You're like cutting off.
I'm not trying to be that guy, right? But like, I'm not trying to be that guy. But there are black farmers who are having who are being attacked as well. So I think it's more of a case of
Shit, seriously.
and they're being killed.
Wouldn't they be seen as coons?
That would be because it's Marxism.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Yeah, it's dumb Marxism. It's bad Marxism.
But it's taking root of like real like grievances from the past,
Like, I'm not justifying attacks on farmers. Like, and I'm
But
also
you acknowledge why they feel that way.
Yeah.
Even if it could have been meditated a bit, if it wasn't like forced down their throats.
Mediated, not meditated.
Wait. Who feels in what way? Like,
Well, to understand, it was awful apartheid, but there were also other positive sides to it, and not to have it black and white,
Yeah, everyone always says be balanced, but when you talk about racial segregation, no one has anything to be balanced about.
When we talk about things like Jim Crow, and this is the thing about, this is why, and I'm not making excuses for Jim Crow. I'm not saying, Jim Crow was good. Jim Crow was bad, right? But Jim Crow had a level and an ability for people of colour to actually make money. And there were people of colour in the 1950s.
The Africans to today saying like things were better back then.
Only
financial reasons. Not
No,
moral,
I think.
like,
Do you know what I
I
found
think
out
morally, I think black people were morally better back then. Right,
Oh, yeah.
black people were a lot smarter back then, because, and I'm not blaming the civil rights movement. I'm not saying like
You're sounding like Jordan B. Peterson.
Not shut up!
Jesse Lee Peterson.
Jesse Peterson's an idiot because Jesse Lee Peterson believes that slavery is good. I think slavery was bad. Slavery was immoral. It's unbiblical.
Okay.
It's wrong.
I don't think he said it was good. It's just part of how things work.
No,
He said it. He did actually say it was good for black people because it got them to America.
Actually, a lot of African. I don't know.
The most prosperous Africans in America today are from Nigeria. So what does that say?
I think it comes down to people. I think it comes down to African Americans who go to Africa and seeing like, how shit it is, and like, thank God we got out of there. It's more like, I'm grateful that at least we're not like that.
When I'm talking about like comparing Jim Crow to apartheid South Africa.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like even Trevor Noah, right? He was a child and he couldn't walk down
he felt
the
like
street.
a bag of weed.
Yeah, he couldn't walk down the street.
Because his mom would saying, no, not mine, not
like
mine.
he couldn't walk down the street with both of his parents, and that's insane racism.
But you know, apparently during Jim Crow, black people were allowed to buy stuff in white businesses. They just weren't allowed to sit down.
Oh yeah, no,
So there was still like trade going on between. That's just what I found fascinating.
I remember this couple in America where it was not normal for there to be interracial couples, a white man and a black woman, and obviously they had this court, and the white man really like pushed, gave up a lot in order for him to be with his black wife. It happens like the other way around. It's just like tribalism that feel like no, we cannot intermix. That will destroy the fabric of the boundaries or something like that.
Can I say about the civil rights movement? And the thing is where I think the civil rights movement went wrong was because it was forcing white people to respect black people when black people had a lot to be respected for back then. Now let me explain, because it started off with, all right, they're allowed to vote, great. But then it came like forced busing.
Yeah,
where
there
it's
needs to be a longer time period in order everything to work
and then,
together, not
what's his name?
instantly like that.
The smartest black man, what's he called? The Black Messiah, I call him. Thomas Sowell, he says like,
The Black Messiah.
Yeah, no, he's the Black Messiah.
Okay.
No, he says like, unless you up your game, you will always be a second-class citizen.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the Indians, the East Asians, especially even the Jews, have earned the respect from white people. Black people, and this is kind of where I sound like a coon.
You think they sound a bit more entitled to it?
No, I shouldn't say that. But like,
Okay.
And look, in my opinion, I think there is a lot of acknowledgement and a lot like, and black people are owed respect for the whole slavery thing. Because in my opinion, and I think.
So you believe in reparations, right?
No, because it won't help. It won't help.
But do you think?
By the way, Milo Yiannopoulos, he believes in reparations,
But
and he's right wing. So,
But you understand
also
that
got
you
black
understand a lot of
husbands.
black people feel like, the Native Americans were owed reparations, the Jews were
Yeah,
owed reparations. Why aren't we allowed reparations?
you're not.
Yeah, the Chinese owe the
in my
the
opinion,
Japanese owe
in
the
my
Chinese, bloody Russians owe the Ukrainians.
Really?
Massacre at Nanjing. But
like-
if you're going to take the reparations,
Oh yeah, I
to
know.
some
That's why. The
conclusion,
thing is,
yeah.
it's about whether the reparations would help. So, in my opinion, if it was a case of you finished school, you got married, you have a family, you're like a prosperous part of society, then yeah. How much are black people owed? Like £80,000.
No, they want to make it like in the millions or something.
Yeah. No, I heard it.
That's the thing is nobody
They
know-
think they made such a contribution that every black person
Was
should
it
be a
you?
millionaire,
Was
know?
it you who said to me that white people kept the receipts for all the slaves they had?
Fuck off.
Yes.
So the people who kept the records are not trustworthy because they're the oppressor, right? In this narrative. Mm-hmm. So why would you trust them? You're just going to have
No,
an
but
endless.
that's
You notice there's a lot of black people who own slaves in America. Like,
That's
Well,
it.
no, a few. I don't know about
a few.
that. Like,
There's quite a lot.
Like how many black
Yeah, it was a
plantation
minority.
owners were there? Was it
It
like
was a minority,
yeah,
but it's still
I'm a black
shocking.
man on my own plantation in the south?
Yeah, but it's still shocking, even though it was a minority of farm owners.
It's not really shocking. They thought like, oh, this is the politics back in my country. It's no different being in this country.
Oh, that's true.
But
yeah.
like the problem with the reparations thing is, what you need to understand is there are white people who descended from black slaves.
Yeah.
So you can't
I
give
know.
them
I know.
reparations.
I know.
And that's
and do the Africans who stole the Africans to sell to the
Yeah,
white
yeah.
man? Are they owed reparations for enslaving them in the
yeah,
first
and
place?
it's just that's where I disagree.
Yeah, if you're gonna start
I think
with
an
reparations-
acknowledgement and respect for the history.
Yes.
That's my opinion of the whole. Like,
I don't really
slavery
believe in reparations. I believe in
Oh no! Haiti is owed reparations, and yeah, no. They oh no!
how
Explain.
much aid had they been given.
Oh no! That's not the
They
point.
lived. They can only survive through aid.
Right. Let me explain. Right. In I think 1812 or like 1800.
Yeah, when it was under the French.
Yeah, when it was under French rule, right? They had to pay 80 million gold marks, right? But also France and England and the other European powers said, yeah, don't trade with them. Because we don't want them getting uppity and thinking they can have their own little, like, former black
Alright.
republic for a bunch of slaves and stuff.
True, we had no trade with them. All right.
Yeah, and so they were forced this debt whilst basically being economically in a chokehold, right?
Yeah.
They didn't even finish paying that debt back until 1941, right? I think in 2008 they said, hey, can we get that money back? They were like, by the way, the money was from the slaves being, it's basically slave money. And I'm not trying to be that guy, but and not only that, in like 1962, I think there was an oppressive, brutal dictator put in.
Yeah.
To,
Well, it's very corrupt.
to mess with like socialist reforms because they thought it would come under communism. So my point is, it's like, and that's the thing. It's like, even though I'm kind of like against reparations and handouts, I think Haiti is definitely owed reparations.
I don't like the
because-
word owed. I mean, it's in everyone's interest if they can rise up themselves. But throwing money at them is certainly not helping. It's just making things worse. You know?
It's not throwing money. It's paying them back what I think was unfairly taken from them. Taking 80
this is the
million
problem.
from a
It's
poor
a window
tiny.
fallacy, because how do you, again,
Yes,
how
but
do
if
you
you don't
calculate
teach them how to
much-
spend money in order to make themselves better, then that money just goes to waste. Or they're just corrupt and just keep it to themselves and
Yeah.
not give it, distribute
And
it.
the thing is, how do you know Haiti would have even engaged with trade with the European powers that supposedly
Same because
held
of
them down?
Jamaica, though it had its problems, they're doing okay-ish. Dominican Republic, doing okay-ish. Cuba. The thing is, Haiti's doing worse than any other African country. They're like Liberia, Sierra Leone level fucked up.
I
You know
hear,
what I'm
I hear
saying?
there have been attempts to actually, make them have actual crops. It's not the ground is now fertilized. They
Yeah,
can
yeah.
have crops, but every time they try
I don't
to,
know much about the crops.
Yeah, I
thing,
know,
mean,
but
it's
every time people come in to try and help them
Cultivate the land.
reap the harvest,
Yeah.
they just don't leave the land alone.
Not only that, also the Dominican Republic, they also threw out all of the Spanish black slaves because people were saying, oh, there's like immigration or some shit.
Spaniards, yeah.
And the thing is, Haiti, and then there was the earthquake that killed like 100,000 people. Haiti have been getting fucked with again and again. And then there's Hillary Clinton, and when the Clintons did. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
So you know what I mean? It hit with Haiti. The hits just keep on coming. At some point, you've got to kind of go, all right, is it really because they're bad at ruling, or is it because
Here's the
they're
thing
just
then.
getting
How about
economically
this?
fucked in the arse?
How about like if we're going to draft up a reparations bill, start with destroying the Clinton Foundation and
Oh yeah.
what's the word? Reappropriate all of that and give it to Haiti. straight
Funny
away.
thing is that I think Paul Joseph Watson, I don't like him, but he made this very funny comment, and he spoke about Haiti. He mentioned Haiti, and he was like, oh, my parents have finally paid for my wedding. Oh, by the way, Trump, stop calling other countries shitholes because you don't understand their culture. Oh my gosh, are you being serious? Like, I mean, who steals from Haiti? That's just lowest of the low. Like, hey man.
I think the main issue I have with reparations is it's like if your grandfather killed my grandfather, do I have a claim over you?
No, I think it's more of a case of if my grandfather stole money from your grandfather and I'm a reasonably rich person and I stole money from your grandfather and I kept taking money from your mother, right? And I only finished paying it back when you were about 4 years old, right? She only finished, and then, but you know, the reasons why was complete bullshit. Then it'd be like, yeah, no, I just give it. Especially the fact that France is like one of the highest economies in the world, so. And it's not even a kind of like we was kings like give us handouts. It's fair game, man. They only finished paying it back in 41.
I don't like the socialism model. You know.
No, it's not socialism. It's
It
more
kind of
just
feels
like
like it.
Reparations.
Yeah.
and it
feels like redistribution.
And I don't mean to be that guy like, oh, the Jews got reparations, but like, by the way, the Irish.
I don't agree.
By the way,
should
the
have
Irish.
compensations. That's
Yeah.
different. I believe in compensations because that's immediate. You know, the counting can be done easier. As soon as it goes through like next generation, the accounting job's going to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, the Irish didn't get reparations and they were
Oh,
white.
fuck.
So no, I'm just saying. I'm not saying they should.
They spread their gene the most successfully. I think they've done pretty well.
I'm not saying they owe reparations. I'm just saying like, and I'm not. And this is the point. This is the argument against the whole. Oh, you only give reparations to white people because it's not true because the Irish didn't get reparations. So for the potato famine, which was disgusting. I know you disagree.
You think that was
with
an
it,
English plot?
I don't think it was an English plot. I think it was definitely made worse by the English.
No, there were attempts to try and make it better, but obviously.
I think there's two
complications.
conflated arguments here.
Yeah.
In the whole story. One is
It's nationalism.
It's an economic argument for slavery, and then there is a moral argument for slavery. So if I raped a child, should my son be held responsible for what's called consequential morality?
If
I rape someone else, or does the morality clause? It's just a question.
If you've been financially benefiting
that's economic.
from a child,
So
right,
there's economic
and then you're
moral.
still rich today, but I'm still kind of messed up from a bunch of other things that kept hitting me.
Yeah.
It would, and I still paid you back, even though I'm still poor. Do you know what I mean? And it's
But that's inventing a post-facto temporal model of economic model of the past that was not under the conditions of the day.
What I'm trying to say is, like, you know, Haiti, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not pro reparations. I'm saying it's only fair, and it is fair game. After the revolution, Haitian revolution, France was like, okay, we're not going to invade you, but you have to pay us back 80 million gold marks. This is in the 1800s, right? For the slaves that were free as payment for the slaves. But by the way, no other country's going to trade with you because we don't want you getting all uppity and becoming this flashy new slave republic, former slave republic. So they were an economic chokehold, but they still had to pay the money back. They didn't even finish paying it back until 1941.
Like the United Kingdom to the United States, for example. Did you know that?
What?
The United Kingdom was broke at the end of World War II and had
They
to
had to
repay
pay.
the
They
United
only
States.
finished paying it back in 2008 or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Now-
you had to pay back for money that had a legal trace of being owed.
Yeah.
Slavery is something altogether different.
Slavery is pretty
That's what
fair.
reparations.
I mean, if they're seriously actually taking money because of slavery from 1941, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
kind
but
of like,
everyone's had slaves in all people. Just say these people are owed money. That's
especially the
what
fact that it's not like Britain is reasonable. If Britain had an empire, they reasonably had the ability to make wealth, to have wealth. Haiti didn't have anything, literally nothing, and it's kind of fair game. It's like, wow, you know.
So I think there's even deeper than there's the general question of reparations, and then there's a specific.
I
question.
mainly
there might be
sta-
specific
I mainly
cases
sta-
where cases are owed, but
I'm
the
mainly
general
staying on
idea that
Haiti
there's-
because it's
yeah.
like I think Haiti is the one of the main African nations that I know. Well, black majority nations.
I think
definitely
you should put the past behind you, and you should ask the question: what's optimal for the future for
mean,
Haiti?
As in, how can we make
How
Haiti?
can we make Haiti great again?
No.
It rhymes as well. That's what
I agree with that, but at the same time, it's like you only finished paying it back in 1941.
but
By the way, in
let's say
1941,
let's say I ask you-
France was accepting reparations
But
from
throw down the gauntlet
Germany.
and
So I'm
let's say
saying,
they
are you
say-
being serious? You're like,
But let's do the gauntlet and say, let's say today, as of today, the score with Haiti is not a void score.
And it's-
how can we make Haiti great again,
not
starting
like-
from nothing?
But
That's what the Haitians.
Ralph, it's not like Ireland. It's not like Ireland where they eventually make it themselves. And Ireland's like a beautiful, rich country. Yeah, they don't want any reparations. Yeah. But Haiti is still pretty messed up, and I think it's fair game. It's like, yo,
Look, it's a beautiful topic.
We did
Ireland.
mess
It
them
needs
up.
to be sorted out. So how's it going to be sorted out? Will the Haitians do it from their current
I think-
position, or do we go in a benevolent empire fashion and sort out Haiti and give the Haitians a chance to have a go? Implement a U.S. Constitution for Haiti, enforce law and order, give it a 12-month trial. get everything functional, wipe up the machines, and then give Haiti let's make Haiti great.
This
again.
is what I think.
That's what we
Haitian
should do
community
better than
principles,
reparations, right?
No.
That's what we should do.
I think we should do that, but I also think that reparations are definitely owed, so they'll have that foundation of
But
wealth.
that's a case you'd have to make. You can claim.
I feel like that case is pretty fair game. I mean, I think if France are gonna accept reparations from Germany, Why can't it be a loan?
Loan.
Oh, no. Who do you think you are, China? You're not China. China's completely.
Oh,
I'll be your sugar daddy. China's economically. China owns my country now. They own Zambia.
Who's I'm talking to?
Like, I'm not here to do like slavery reparations. I think that
That's
slavery reparations is like
The economic case does not hold on. The moral case is lacking.
I think acknowledgement that slavery was bad, okay.
Correct. And we've done that. We have slavery
yeah.
museums across the world.
Yeah.
No one is saying, hey, let's do some slavery. Except for the Middle East. And there's a lot of Arab Muslim slavery. That's going on.
They still did slavery until 1962.
They're at it today. Right now they're slaves, but not
Well, not officially.
And then you've got human trafficking, which is an altogether.
But I think
we should be
we're just sort of
paying
stretching it.
attention.
I think
I don't see many slaves in
official
London.
government-sanctioned slavery. I think not they'll like kept in the human closet. trafficking.
I've been to many houses. No.
Like,
True,
no,
yeah.
you must not enter. You must not leave the house.
So you've got a room at the end of the corridor. It's the room. The door
Then we get back to the fact that slavery
Okay,
in the
sure.
chattel
Anne
sense
Frank,
was essentially an African
You
export.
are just useful for sex.
European
What
powers.
do you not understand?
Which is what, the uncomfortable fact people don't want to accept.
No,
So how would you
accept
make Tiger? How would you make Haiti great again? Then? Should we say no
honestly,
reparations? We go
have an
day one.
authoritarian to take over. Oh, we tried that in '62. It just made things worse. Oh, right, but it's a new day. We're
Haiti
starting
plot.
a new chapter.
First
now.
of all,
Like, and I'm not. I don't like handouts. I do believe in investment and giving someone the ability
I
to
thought
make
so.
wealth rather than handouts. But I do think handouts are. I do think money is definitely owed.
Really, but you see certain types of people spend money very quickly.
I-
Giving them money does not solve it.
Unfortunately, you can't
They
teach
just
people
spend
how
it.
to spend
have
money.
you heard this
We know
recently?
the black saving grace versus
There's a guy that said
Imagine if they
apparently
just give them a million.
in the
How
black
long do you think
community,
these
a dollar
people
only
keep that,
stays
you know?
within the black
lots
community
of
for
games.
3 hours.
Don't call it that.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So they can't even spend it in their own communities.
In the 1950s, not to be racist, they introduced the minimum wage so the low-earning white working class wouldn't be undercut by black people who will work for more hours. Yeah, this is what Larry Elder told me. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Well, I believe in the investment. I think if they paid the reparations back via investments in Haiti.
Investments.
Is that right, Ralph? What if they paid Haiti back via investments? So
absolutely.
how in East Africa they take
But
out
you'd have
loans from
some
China.
I'd agree with that.
Same thing, except for it's like.
But we'd have to run the money.
What?
We'd have to run it. They couldn't run it yet.
No, I think.
No, but
have
really,
a couple
no.
of people
We
over.
teach them how to do it. So you send in Deloitte, Accenture,
yeah.
you send in.
What
What
are you saying?
What
We're saying this.
And you
No,
train them.
no. Clearly, it's not
They
saying
don't know.
that. But like,
They don't know. But they can be taught.
No.
Time will
It's
tell.
like CIA went over to Afghanistan to teach the Mujahideen how to use Stinger missiles. So that's fine. It's not like it's not racist. It's not colonizing. Yeah, I think
No, training them to do it. We don't. No one else. We don't know.
is like buying a lot of guns or weapons from Russia. Russia?
Yeah.
Disarming.
They don't even need them anymore.
Three biggest arms dealers in the world: Russia, US, and Germany.
And the first
thing
US,
is-
they're still in every.
But Haiti, those places, like even Central America, you just disarm them by force. They should not be allowed to have weapons. They should. But I mean, it's true. They do. It's genetic. Those chimps, you don't give them rifles.
I'm not sure if it's in this order. It's Russia, US, and Germany.
We started talking about reparations.
No, but Ralph,
Heckler and Koch.
No reparations.
No, but Ralph, I think how right, so Zambia took out loans from China and now they're kind of in debt, they're in trouble. Same thing, but it all gets paid back via reparations. So like 80 million gold marks worth of investment
don't
into
want an
Haiti.
Italian making a
And
gun
that's what I think. And
And
also,
Jamie says if you have an investment run by a World Bank fund, and that says that island needs 1 billion
You
a year
wouldn't
to
want
be
the
spent on
Italians
hospital
making it
schools,
'cause it would look
and then we
good.
send in
Wouldn't be able to
Western
find out.
excellence, not
be able
corporates
to
running
reload
under like Deloitte, McKinsey, and they teach them how to do
And
it.
obviously, if the British
Then we pay the money that way. We don't give them the money. You can't give them the money because you know what's going to happen.
why do we owe them anything anyway?
We got the
we've got past that. We're not
Actually, we made.
But we did it as an investment project.
This I've got in my head was like 3 years ago. So maybe
I think we can.
And the more successful country is, the more trade.
Fighting.
And it would be a great island resort. It could be like the Bahamas. In 2 generations or 3 generations, we can educate the population.
No, yeah, Germany, the country.
We're like
50 years.
Jamaica, but without the
They need to start farming. They need to stop eating all these mud cakes.
Oh, right.
Well,
No, I think
you got some
Germany
chins that you taught and stuff, right?
still very good at making arms.
Yeah, and I think that way you can make Haiti again. So it takes about 3 generations to transform. You don't remember your after
Get
your
to be around
grandparents.
guns all the time.
Shame they don't do advertising on TV.
3 generations to get educated them.
I think the people
I didn't even know about the whole Haitian thing. Like, I was like, whoa, you being serious? 1941? Like, and you know where I stand on reparations and handouts.
It's completely the other mindset.
Let me tell you, if Haiti was a prosperous country like the Dominican Republic, then I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't say any reparations.
What do you think is the main reasons why the Dominican Republic is doing better than Haiti?
What?
What's the main reason you think the Dominican Republic is doing
I do think it has a lot to do with interventions, Hillary Clinton, that massive debt. I do think they got economically, it's like,
you're going to get mad.
you take Russia, for example. Russia's a very resource-rich country, right? But it's slowly declining on the world superpower stage, and they're barely a superpower anymore.
So you need a way to distribute that slowly to the public.
So as a humanitarian to the chat, what do you think of the fact it takes 3 generations?
Look at Ghana, right? Ghana is way more. Ghana is the safest country. Ghana and Rwanda, safest countries in Africa.
Yeah, because you've got the free market, right?
They're free market.
But you know what my question would be? It takes 3 generations to transform. Because you only remember your parents and your grandparents. So any project of betterment effort, it's going to take 60 years. It's going to take 50, 60 years to execute.
But do you think that model that you had for Ghana and all that can suit the rest of Africa?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to. That's what the West African concept is. Like investment, education, morals.
Freestyle conversation. I'm not sure what's
I don't know. It's just where like Ghana's like a very small country. I'm just concerned if it's
If
it's on a big scale.
Nigeria is the same. Nigeria is more poor people than India. It's messed up, but and they also got Boko Haram in the north. Yeah, I don't know everything about Nigeria. I'm still learning from my friends. So.
Yeah. It's a very fascinating history. I love their artwork.
Have you seen Yeah.
It tastes good.
But unfortunately, like he did admit that the whole when they made Nigeria a country and all these ethnicities and some ethnic groups are outside of Nigeria, that was a bad idea, and it is a bad idea.
Oh yeah, the border situation is all across Africa. Like even South Sudan.
Oh my gosh, South Sudan.
Even
It's like the
South
Bantu
Sudan is just
migration.
like.
I don't know about the Bantu migration. I think it's
It did start.
a lot of different
That
ethnic
was
groups.
hundreds of years ago, I think.
Yeah, I think
It's still ongoing in places like South Africa, but the main Bantu expansion was about.
Yeah, I love it. Like
300,
I love it. Like how
400
the
years ago.
South Africans who weren't actually native Africans that the Dutch were there to colonize or to buy land, and they're saying like, no, this is our land the whole time. Even though they
The
came from
white
the
South
north.
Africans colonized land that no African tribe had ever been on. The Bantu came much later, right? Yeah, so it was never their land.
No.
They had not been settled.
The actual Bantu ethnic group expanded into the south and wiped out all other ethnicities around 400
On the way to
300 years
Whitey,
ago.
who'd already.
Yeah, but then you had Shaka Zulu.
I think they were like
Bantu
African.
2.0, Electric Boogaloo.
I think they were like African. I don't think it was actually like.
They weren't African Neanderthals, they were just a different ethnic group to all other ethnic groups that were there. So they were homogenous somewhere east of the Congo. They emerged out and expanded across all sub-Saharan Africa. Then you had Whitey come in, then you had Shaka Zulu. Then you had today.
China.
And today. Yeah, then you had China.
But the Boers pretty much colonized unsettled land, right? They farmed and everything.
And then the English came in and they stopped the. I think they were Dutch and the Germans. They were like ruling through them.
Well, the English came and fucked it up for the Dutch Boers, right?
We did make some good deals with the Dutch. That's why we got New York. Because
they just took over.
Yeah, it was once called New Amsterdam. I love history.
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they change it, I can't say. Just like it better that way.
Because they need an excuse to legalize.
Never try and
Basically,
rip off
I got 2 books.
Oh, here we
I
go.
got 2 books in one.
Here we go.
And the Torah and the New Testament.
It was a book deal, right? It was like
Yeah, that's just the Bible.
Yeah, but it's still the Torah.
You got it in a Roman bag. I think that's more impressive.
Yeah, this is my Roman reenactment. I'm holding the Bible and the Quran in the more authentic bags for most of its history.
Give a quick shout out to the Roman reenactment group you're with.
I don't know, they might be out of business.
Oh fuck.
Sorry.
Too bad.
As I said, I'm still the good-looking one.
What are you talking about? Some dude here did it.
I've seen Jay Smith. Oh, he hasn't been in for like you and I think he's going to have another one.
Here's one.
Sorry, Uncle.
Behind you.
Uncle.
Sorry,
can I get in?
Are you telling me that Adam was that big? That's
brother.
what your medieval
bro.
prophet
Sorry,
said.
can I get my camera?
Oh,
yeah.
What Muhammad said. He said that Adam was as big as that tree behind you. Look at it.
That's what we've been on. You haven't
Right. So now.
Who killed Goliath?
So now. Let's take that argument logically. You say you believe it.
Content over everything from your
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Where are you going?
Listen.
Next man. It's fine.
Go on.
Scared,
Behaviour.
You were scared,
Threatening behaviour.
Scared.
Threatening behaviour.
Far right.
Threatening behaviour.
Then walk away then.
You could be arrested
If
for
you're
that.
really scared, walk away.
I'm not scared.
You're a fucking moron.
I'm not scared of you.
Then why are you saying you're scared?
I said I'm not.
Threatening behaviour.